A very good afternoon and welcome to Bell Direct's Market Update, Monday the 7th of October. Well, the Australian share market rose as expected today after we saw US and European markets rally or rise on the back of jobs data, which really dampens recessionary fears. Today, our market is up about 0.5%, extending Friday's lift of 0.4%. So now that means our market is up about 18% this year and about 4.5% away from our all-time high. So a good start to the week after we saw the benchmark S&P ASX 200 lose about 2.5% last week, our third negative week, echoing Wall Street, where we saw the broader S&P 500 on Wall Street and the Dow lose about 0.3%, while the Nasdaq bucked the trend, rising 0.5% on the week. Tech stocks there gained the most, with Apple shares on Friday up about 2.8% on the tech giant bumping up their iPhone 11 production by 10%. And further to that, JP Morgan also announced that their shares will surge to a price target of $265, and that price target is for 12 months. What's the latest from the US? Well, all eyes this week will be on US-China trade negotiations that kick off later this week. As for what happened more recently, turning back in time, looking at Friday's data, the US economy added 136,000 jobs in September, less than the 145,000 jobs expected to be added. But that was more than what NAB expected. NAB was looking for 100,000 jobs to be added. In good news, the unemployment rate fell to a 50-year low, falling to 3.5%, but wages, or average hourly earnings, disappointed. Little change on the month, but wages rose 2.9% on the year. That's the lowest rise since July 2019. JP Morgan expects things will get much worse in terms of the jobs numbers and expects a slowdown towards the end of this year due to supply and demand constraints, as well as the trade war impacting business psychology. GDP is also projected to slow to 1.9% by the end of this quarter, and that's where it's expected to stay for 2020, and that's according to Trading Economics. So all eyes will be on the servicing and manufacturing data later this year, and if they do bounce back. We can also expect more imminently the Fed to cut rates again. The Fed is expected to cut rates on the 30th of October, with 81% of the market expecting a cut this month. And this also follows from the Fed cuts that we saw in September, taking the Fed's target range to 1.75 to 2%. Zooming back to our market, who's trumping up today? Well, software logistics giant WiseTech Global. Their ticker code is WTC. Their shares have jumped up about 4% today. It really comes after an insider reinvested their dividends back into the company, and today their shares are bucking well as a result. They invested the shares at $34.90, and the company's shares have reached an all-time high last month, hitting $38.75. Jumbo Interactive, ticker code JIN, their shares set a new all-time high today, $27.54. They're steady at the moment. Centuria Industrial REIT, ticker code CIP, their shares were up about 1% earlier, above their 50-day average price. Now they're about 3.5% away from their all-time high of $3.44, and now they're about $3.30. And turning to IPOs, we haven't seen that many IPOs this year. However, Latitude Financial Services is set to come onto the market soon. They're a financial business in Australia and New Zealand, set to close their IPO bids tomorrow. Indicative price range is $2 to $2.25. It's a personal loan, car loan and credit card provider, also offering a buy now, pay later service that's different to Afterpay. They're more focused on big ticket items, offering 10 weekly payments with no interest, and their services, or buy now pay later services, are offered at big companies including Harvey Norman, The Good Guys and Apple. It looks like the company has high demand and may close early. That's for the IPO. So if you want to know more, contact Bell Direct Bell Potter or your own broker. The company is already successful. Their forecast net profit after tax is expected to rise 7.2% in the first half of this financial year. Who's already in? Well, big heavyweights like KKR, Värde Partners and Deutsche Bank. They bought into the business in 2015, buying the business from GE. So they're already on board and set to continue to grow the business. Zooming back out again, bigger picture, Chinese markets are closed for national holidays. Gold is on track for a weekly gain of 0.8%. It's now $1,506.31. The iron ore price is steady at the moment, bouncing back, but it's now steady at 93.40 and $1 Australian, it's about higher where it was from 2 weeks ago. It's currently fetching 67.62 US cents. And that's it for Monday, the 7th of October. Have a great afternoon. See you tomorrow.